Hello everyone, welcome to ChildKiddo. Today's story topic: The Griffin's Feathery Wish. Once upon a time, in the magical kingdom of Featherbrook, there lived a young and rather clumsy griffin named Gus. Unlike the other majestic griffins, who soared gracefully through the sky, Gus had a peculiar problem. His feathers were way too fluffy. Whenever he tried to glide, his oversized feathery wings would puff up like a pillow, making it nearly impossible to fly straight. Gus didn't mind his fluffiness too much, but the other griffins would chuckle and call him Gus the Floating Fluff Ball. Even the wise old owl, Professor Hootsworth, had to admit that Gus's feathers were a little excessive one day. While Gus was practicing flying near the twinkling falls, he spotted a peculiar Sita golden feather floating down from the sky. As soon as it touched the ground, it sparkled and whispered, "Make a wish, and it shall be," Gus gasped. A magic wishing feather. He could finally wish for sleek, smooth wings like the other griffins. Without hesitation, he closed his eyes and said, "I wish for my feathers to be perfectly normal and not so fluffy." Poof! A gust of glittery wind swirled around him. And when Gus looked down, his wings were no longer fluffy. They were sleek and smooth like a hawk's. He flapped them once, then twice, and took off into the air. He zoomed, he swerved, he looped, he was flying perfectly. But then, achoo! Gus sneezed so hard that he spiraled out of control. He barely managed to land on a nearby cloud, his eyes watering. The feathers on his wings were now so fine that every little breeze tickled them. The softer the feather, the more ticklish they became. A passing butterfly flapped its wings near him, and Gus giggled uncontrollably. "Oh no," he cried, wiggling as the breeze made him burst into laughter. "I can't stop." Desperate, he flapped his ticklish wings and zoomed down to the ground, where he crash-landed right into a bush of giggleberries. If you've never heard of giggleberries, they're tiny, round berries that pop when squished, releasing a mist that makes everyone laugh uncontrollably. The next thing Gus knew, the entire forest was rolling on the ground. Laughing squirrels, rabbits, even the usually serious Professor Hootsworth. Tears of laughter streamed down their faces as Gus flopped about, unable to stop giggling himself. "This is not what I wished for," Gus chortled. Determined to fix his feathery dilemma, Gus remembered the golden feather. He searched high and low, ticklishly flapping about, until he finally spotted it floating near a pond. "Okay, new wish." Gus grabbed the feather. "I wish my wings weren't so ticklish." Poof! Gus sighed in relief. He gave his wings an experimental flap, no giggles, no sneezes. Perfect. But as he soared into the air, he noticed something was off. "Why do I feel so heavy?" he wondered. He looked down and gasped. His feathers were now as thick and stiff as wooden planks. He flapped and flapped, but instead of soaring, he thudded onto the ground like a sack of potatoes. Thump! Oof! He groaned. Now I'm Gus the Griffin log. The other griffins who had been watching the whole fiasco couldn't help but burst into laughter. Even Professor Hootsworth had to stifle a chuckle behind his wing. Maybe I should just wish to be myself again, Gus thought aloud. The golden feather, now slightly amused itself, floated in front of him. Taking a deep breath, Gus made his final wish. "I wish for my original fluffy feathers back." Gus felt his familiar fluffiness return. He stretched his wings and, sure enough, they puffed up like a giant pillow once more. The other griffins cheered as Gus flapped and floated gently into the sky. "Welcome back, Gus, the floating fluff ball," one of them teased. Gus laughed. "You know what? I think I like being fluffy after all." And from that day on, Gus embraced his feathery uniqueness, turning his fluffiness into a signature flying style. He may not have been the sleekest griffin in the sky, but he was certainly the most fun. And so the legend of Gus, the floating fluff ball, spread throughout Featherbrook, reminding everyone that sometimes what makes us different is also what makes us special. The story is end.